All right, a couple experiments. I'm standing up, I'm in a different room, and I'm doing a Julian Baker live part. So we'll see how all these experiments go. One of the reasons sometimes I'm hesitant to tackle a part like this is that I like when I can really figure out a particular part, figure out exactly how it goes and teach it that way. And with this, there's a little bit of like, there's some stuff on the record. There's probably multiple lead guitars that are in there. And then I watched some live versions and she does it a little differently every time, etc. So this is sort of a little composite part I put together that's a bunch of the stuff. Interestingly, watching the live versions, it appears that she's playing a guitar that is tuned up a half step. So this song is in C sharp, but she seems to be playing it as if it's in C, which suggests that her guitar is tuned up a half step. But I just did it in standard tuning. There's also like the acoustic version where it seems like she's maybe even playing like a Nashville tuninged guitar, the Sirius XM version on YouTube. Anyway, that's a lot of information. So, okay, so let's start. The intro. Okay, so the first thing that happens in the third bar of the intro, so it's like ding, 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 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. So that happens on the and of 2, and it's the 13th fret on the high E string. 1, 2. And there's delay on the guitar, so that makes it more like ding, ding, but it's just played once. Ding, and then it's like bing, boom, boom. So 13 on the E to 11 on the B, and then I think it slides down from 11 to 9. You could also kind of leave it. Ding, ding, ding. Anyway, there's something in there. It could also be this 13th fret on the G, which is the same. Later in the outro, these notes come back. She kind of messes with them a little bit in the always an angel, never a god part and all that. So you can keep those. Anyway, that's a thing for that. Okay, so now the verse. In the verse, it's like the main chords are like C sharp to G sharp to like basically D sharp minor to like A sharp minor 7. I think the shapes that she's mostly in is like this one, like just a power chord of the C sharp chord. So first finger on the 4th fret of the A, third finger on the 6th fret of the D, and pinky on the 6th fret of the G. The main note is like on the, it's on the and of 2. 1, 2. There might be like a 1, 2, something like that. This is the main note I hear, but I think this is sort of the shape she's in. And then to G sharp, which is like this. It's like this bar chord, but just part of it. So first finger on the 4th fret of the low E, second finger on the 5th fret of the G, and third finger on the 6th fret of the D. Same thing, be on the end of 2. So it's like 1, 2, 1, 2. And then this power chord off the 6th fret, same thing as this, but now up here. So first finger on the 6th fret of the A, third finger on the 8th fret of the D, and pinky on the 8th fret of the G. And again, come in on the end of 2. 1, 2, and then this chord. A sharp minor 7, second finger on the 6th fret of the low E, third finger on the 6th fret of the D, and pinky on the 6th fret of the G. And same thing coming on the and of 2. 1, 2. That's the main gist of it. There's a little fill I did at one point of like just 6, 5, 4. So it's like I think that's in the. Or those are all possible ways that that's played. 6, 5, 3, 6, 5, 8 on the D, and it could be all slides. It could be like a pull off and 2 pull offs. It could be a pull off and a not pull off. Anyway, can mess with that. But yeah, that's the basic thing. I think it comes in on the third bar of the first verse. Black hole opened in the kitchen. At the clock's a different time. Sort of makes sense. That's the gist of the verse. The second verse is different. Let's do the second verse. At least live, she does sort of more like these fills. It makes sense because now she's singing, right? So she's like, drag racing through the canyon. 1, 2, 3. So this is the 13th fret of the high E again, and this is on beat 4. It's 16 notes, da 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 da, and then first beat of the next measure. So it's like 1, 2, 3, and slide it down. That could also be, but it's I played it here. So third finger on the 15th fret of the D, first finger then on the 13th fret of the G, and then first finger on the 13th fret of the B, and then kind of bend it. You know. That's something I saw her do live as like a little lick, like. So this is 9th fret on the B, 10th fret on the G, 8th fret on the G, 6th fret on the G, and then slide down to the 5th fret on the G, and then bend it. That's the second verse. Those are those little fills she does in the second verse. But you could also just keep doing, I think on the record there is a guitar that's still doing these things, right? Okay, so the chorus. In the chorus, the chords are, and the way she's playing them, it's like, the first chord is this. This is like an F sharp, and the way she's doing it is like the first finger like barring the 4th fret of the A and the D, and the pinky playing the 6th fret on the G. And she's kind of picking around, like, I don't know if it's a super specific picking pattern or if it's just kind of like, if you look at her hand, you can see that she's sort of doing some version of this. I can't hear it quite clear enough to tell if it's like a very, something like that. I don't think so. I think it's more, more loose. Okay, so this is the first chord, 4th fret on the A and the D, 6th fret on the G, and then all you have to do is move the 3rd finger into the 6th fret of the D. That makes it a C sharp. Way I am not strong enough to be yours. Same thing now, this G sharp chord, first finger, which is either just playing the 4th fret on the low E or barring to play the 4th fret on the B too. Second finger on the 5th fret of the G, and 3rd finger on the 6th fret of the D. Enough to be your man. Back to the first chord, the F sharp. That's the first, the chorus is funny. It does that the first time, then it goes, so the second time, instead of going back to this chord, it goes to this chord, the A sharp minor 7, second finger on the 6th fret of the low E, 3rd finger on the 6th fret of the D, and pinky on the 6th fret of the G. That's for 2 bars, and then pick up the second finger and replace it with the first finger on the 4th fret of the G, of the low E. And then it's going to repeat that. And then this time, that time it just stays on this chord. So it's like, so the whole progression is like this F sharp to C sharp to G sharp, back to F sharp to C sharp to G sharp to A sharp minor 7 to this over G sharp thing. That's the ones that are 2 bars each, 2 beats each, and then repeat that. And again, you're sort of picking. And this time you just stay on this chord for 2 bars. first chorus then goes to the second verse, and then the second chorus goes to the always an angel, never a God part, which, as I said, like, you can mess around with these notes in there. And then live, she goes into this like crazy 16th note when it gets intense. I can't tell exactly what she's playing, but I think it's probably this note. You know, she's up here somewhere playing something. And it's so I'm playing this is a C sharp on the B string, so the 14th fret on the B string, and just, if you don't know how to do this, like, try to mute the other strings with your other fingers, and then just get that fast picking. It's really a strum. Okay, which takes you to the chorus, which is like the last chorus. It's the same idea. You're just playing these things. The way okay. Hopefully that makes sense. I will have a tab available at my Patreon page. The link is in the description. And let me know if you have any questions. And I hope that was helpful. Thanks for watching.